this game ends up going the distance here, simply because... Welcome to Deadwing. We're spawning in the bottom left-hand position as the green Terran player, making a comeback from 3-0 down, and he now has a chance to tie things up. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Major. His opponent, spawning in the top left position, representing mYinsanity. He is the yellow Zerg, hailing from New Zealand. Ladies and gents, I give you Petraeus. Alright, so some pretty intense games so far. Petraeus absolutely annihilating the openings, I have to say. In games 1 and 2. A little bit more of a tricky game in game 3. But still managing to win it. And then Major now, back on it, 2 on the trot. Is he going to be able to make it 3? And this is the situation in the Best of 9 series that we've seen so far from experience that really does actually matter the most. Because it's the difference between being completely level and your opponent is on match point and has... Oh, goodness. 1, 2, 3... Has like 4... Yeah, 3 or 4 chances, basically, to win a game, and he can afford to lose several. So this really is what could be described as a pivotal game. And both players are going to be very, very focused on it. Petraeus needing to regain his momentum as well. Alright. So we have the barracks followed by the refinery, by the way, guys. So we're going to be going back, if what we've seen in previous games is accurate, we're going to be going back to the Reaper play here. From our Terran player, from Major. Here in game number 6. This Overlord will be able to scout the right way the first time, and we've also got an SCV by the looks of things going straight up north. And we'll also get to spot his Zergy opponent. We have actually got Marines out this time, even though gas is being mined. So once again, a little bit of a difference. We're going up to a minimum of 2 Marines. We don't have enough gas for a Reaper. Let's see what happens there. And, oh, very, very nice. And this Overlord actually sees both Marines as well and then moves back. But he's actually going straight for a reactor. So a different build this time once again from Major. This isn't instantaneous gasless expand. It's actually going to be a little bit of gas going into a reactor first. So very, very interesting. We'll keep an eye on how that unfolds for the Terran. Petraeus has not scouted any of the gases yet, by the way. He only saw the barracks producing these Marines, so he might well just assume that to 1-Rex gases expand because we've already seen that once. In the meantime, there is the reactor, so Marines number 3 and 4 before it gets swapped over with the factory, so transitioning into looks like that Hellion Banshee kind of opening. Very, very solid for Terran against Zerg players and very difficult to break down in the early game. You're basically having to play for the longer tactical macro game against Terran players who just open up in that way because they're just so, so strong. And indeed, we've got the 3rd base going down even quicker than the last time we saw the 1-Rex gases expand. Ooh, Major, you may take 3 steps forward. Major. Okay, there we go. He has actually seen it. All good in the hood as a Zergling bites the bullets. Ladies and gentlemen, over here on the left-hand side, the 3rd base has been spotted. Oh, is this SCV thinking about putting a bunker down? No, he's actually retreating now. Probably thought about it. And you can actually see the 2 Marines moving back to kill off the command center because it's gone rogue. No, alright, it's fine. Everything's cool, guys. Just joking. We haven't got a 24 style situation. There's no sleeper agent there. All is well. Zergling speed about 2 complete. Map control ceded to Petraeus until we get a decent number of Hellions on the field. They do spot the first 2 Lings, and they are going to try to run on by. 2 Marines are going to try and stop them from getting into the main base, but what's really going to stop them are these command centers. Plus, you know, flame roasting. Piri Piri Zergling. Very, very tasty. Lemon and herb. And, yeah. not too much in the way of tech so far. We know that there's only still the one gas over here from Petraeus. Sad. Ooh, okay. We have shenanigans, ladies and gentlemen. I'm liking this. A second factory with brew frame. So we are going to see brew frame Harrians coming out of here from Major. And this is going to get very aggressive very quickly. I don't know who's going to win this game, but I do know it's going to be spectacular. Blue Flame Hellbat incoming as well as the Arbory goes down next to the natural expansion. The Overlords have not spotted this. Oh, will he spot this? This is going to be such a critical scout. Such a critical scout. Will he see the Arbory with this Overlord? And then will he see... Well, he will see the second factory. I'm pretty sure. He'll also see it's researching something. This is going to be so important. Petraeus still has no idea what's going on. Look at all these units at the watchtower. He's scouting. Oh, it's a factory on that. Oh, it's research. Okay, this is slightly different to what I'm used to. All right, let's see how well this works out for me. Spine Crawl, a lot of queens coming in here. Blue Flame isn't researched yet, though. It's a little bit of an anti-timing right now. The Armory's not done yet either. He can't turn these into Hellbats. He needs to wait a little while longer. He can turn them into Hellbats now. And there's Blue Flame. Do we have Hellbats? Oh. This is... I'm going to be honest, that was a little bit of an anti-timing. I think if he waited, Major could have been a bit more effective with this attack. And as it stands, Petraeus is putting on a good show of defense here at the third base location. Total number of workers killed, ladies and gentlemen. Nil. 0. Zilch. Nada. Of the OGS variety. So the third base is now coming down from Major. I think he recognized he's not about to finish the game with that. I would have loved to have seen him hold back until both Blue Flame and Hellbats were complete and then go with everything he had, but we weren't able to see that just then. He's going in for round 2 now. It's given Petraeus an awful lot longer to prepare, so this is nowhere near as good, but Blue Flame is still very, very scary, and look at how quickly it roasts those Zerglings. So now it comes down to how quickly it roasts the Queens, as well as the Spine Crawler. Excellent transfuses going down mean that a lot of these Hellbats are getting killed off very quickly indeed. I think there's still one more transfuse left here on that Queen. Yes, there is, and it will actually get repelled. Imagine what would have happened if that was the first attack. I think it would have been a lot more difficult to hold as the Zerg player there. But credit where it's due. Well done to Petraeus for holding it. Can he now hold on to what might end up being a bit of a slender economic lead? 74 to 51 workers. That's basically 3 base saturation versus 2 base saturation. And he's starting a 4th base. He's got 28 Zerglings on the way to defend against any incoming attacks, especially with that Blue Flame on the field. And the Spire is starting as well. Another round of Hellions are coming in. The Spine Crawler is out in no man's land. He needs to be very, very careful there. I'm not sure he wants to be doing that. Where is the Spine Crawler going? He can't root there because the Hellions are stood there. And dear, oh dear, it would have done so much damage. He's going to have to move back up the ramp now, surely. Is he, oh, actually needs to be careful. If the Zerglings surrounded, the Spike Crawler won't be needed at all. Wow, a little bit careless there, unfortunately, by our Terran player. I reckon there was possible scope for him coming all the way around here while the Spike Crawler is still uprooted and targeting down the Zerglings and Banelings while they were still up here. I think that would have been a really sick move from the Terran player. Very difficult to see in that situation, of course, and also more difficult when you don't have the vision up the ramp. But that could have happened. And the results could have been very, very dangerous indeed. It looks like no more Blue Flame Hellions are being produced just yet. We're instead going to be transitioning into full-on mech. We've got Thors incoming as well, anticipating the Mutalisks. I mean, the Spire isn't even complete yet. We've got the first Thor on the way. So, second Thor, pardon me, on the way. So, really thinking ahead here as we go up to gas number 5, not 6 just yet. 4th base now up and mining for Petraeus, keeping 1 base ahead of his opponent and preparing a Zergling run by for when units next come out. And this is such an open base, by the way, that it's a really, really nice idea. Is he going to be able to take all of this at the moment? I don't know. Those Thors tend to be pretty clunky, but he could end up giving it a go. 8 Banelings, well, against a Thor, that's not going to do too much more, but he can always give it a go or just send them straight into the mineral line. We'll keep an eye on when those dots on our mini-maps happen to be moving along. In the meantime, Hellbats continuing to be produced here. Thors at the front of the ramp to block. Blue Flame Hellbats, very, very scary units indeed, but Major is now only confined to defending his 3rd base. So, a little bit of an all-quiet kind of situation here for our Terran player. And in the meantime, Petraeus is able to macro up just as he likes. He's up to 169 supply versus 137. The work supply has evened out. It's 84 to 73. So Major's feeling totally comfy right now. And if anything, Petraeus may have overdriven very, very slightly for the long run. We have spotted those Zerglings and have managed to send them on their way. And now we have the Mutalisks harassing inside the main base. Wow, triple missile turret next to the 2 engineering base. He is not messing around at all. And we have the killing of the creep, ladies and gents, over here near the watchtower. We'll be able to spot the mutas coming back as well, thanks to that vision the Xel'Naga tower provides. And that was potentially going to be a big fight, but unfortunately Major gave up the tower, so Petraeus is not going to be able to get any purchase on that. Major's actually doing a good job of positionally defending. And this hell, he doesn't know what he's missing. Oh god, he knows now, and he needs to be so careful. There are quite a few banelings in this composition. Petraeus, he's eyeing up this army. He's thinking of ways to take it out. Here come the mutas. And the lings of banelings could potentially come out now, but what the Thor? Needs to be careful. There are a lot of banelings with this army, but doesn't want to accidentally plow them into a Thor. It's 200 versus 180 supply. It looks like it's going to get tense. I think Petraeus might be going to be rushing in very soon. More banelings coming in. Here he goes. He decides now is his moment. Make it count, ladies and gentlemen. He goes up the ramp. Most of the banelings still trying to filter through to the bio past the Thors. Doing a good job of not exploding on them. And he's overrunning the 3rd base location. Major down to 123 supply. Could this be match point? I think we're going to have Petraeus going up to 4-2 here. Into the main base, into the natural. Still so many banelings here, and Major is starting to fall apart. The mech hasn't been able to work out for him. There weren't any tags in composition at all. GG! And Petraeus, ladies and gentlemen, goes up to a score of 4-2 after game number 6 of the hot seat.